What happens when Superman dies? What happens to the world around that hero? Well, that's what the world was facing, especially in Los Angeles, with the death of Kobe Bryant, our basketball star, our hero, the guy who won championships for the Lakers. So many Lakers fans just felt devastated by this. Well, Patrick Green is a local filmmaker, and he has captured really the emotion and the essence of what Kobe Bryant means to the Los Angeles community in a new film called Sincerely Los Angeles. Patrick, welcome. Nice to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, Carlos.
It's hard to believe that we lost such an icon in our city at such a young age. And tell me what you felt when you heard the news.
You know, it was like losing a family member. You know, the difference between Kobe and all the other athletes that have passed through LA is we grew up with him. You know, he came here as a cocky kid around my age. You know, he wanted to make a big scene in LA like we all do. And then, you know, we saw him go through some trials and tribulations, and then become a world champion, and then become this Black Mamba personality, almost a superhero, who was so dedicated to work and had a passion for things. And then we saw him grow old, and you know, struggle physically, but still have those classic moves, and, you know, to go out with a bang, you know, his last game. Yeah. And then we saw him as a girl dad, as a husband, and then Academy Award winner. It was a fairy tale life, and we were, you know, first witnesses to it.
And so his death struck us all in a different way. Each one of us had a personal view of what his life was all about. And you have captured all of the things that are really the essence of art and mural painting, and these tributes to Kobe Bryant. Tell me what got you there. Why Sincerely Los Angeles? Why the mural story?
Yeah, you know, obviously, I think when you're devastated, as an artist, as a filmmaker, there's not much you can say, but you can do something. And I think for the muralists, their way to kind of stream our conscious was to actually go out there and paint Kobe, to actually put him back out there, his likeness, you know, so people could see it. For me as a filmmaker, you know, I had the idea, you know, quite early, but I was so devastated and I saw so many people grieving that I didn't want to go out there too early and kind of feel like I was being exploitive. So I wanted to let things kind of simmer down. And I think people have a better understanding of themselves and what's the situation is when they're reflective. So, you know, of course, then COVID hit, you know, which was another devastating thing to the city. And, you know, as Angelinos, we love to be outdoors. We love to be out in the city, meeting other people, meeting people at these murals and talking, you know, Lakers stories. So, you know, towards summer, I started, you know, calling up some friends, and I said, we got to do this, you know, we got to do this for not only ourselves and for Kobe, for the city. Yeah. I think, you know, I wanted to tell an inspiring story, and who else better to tell it through than Kobe? He's a guy who I think connected to the city because not only for who he was, but his work ethic. And I think LA is such a work-driven town. And I think people from all, you know, from Beverly Hills to Watts to Boyle Heights, that's the one thing they connected to Kobe with. The championships and all that were great, but they could really admire a person who wakes up in the morning and puts in the work and tries to become better every day at what they do. And I think that's what people have hung on to. And I think that's actually what will carry on beyond Kobe's basketball records.
So let's talk about the filmmaker. Sure. Tell me about walking up to that first mural, and you're shooting it and you're looking at it. What is it you're trying to capture? What emotion, what color, what is it about your view of these murals that you're looking for as a filmmaker?
I think, you know, murals are an essential part of LA. You know, we're the mural capital of the world that dates all the way back to the 60s and 70s with the Chicano movement, and then the '84 Olympics. You know, and then the BLM movement, you started seeing murals again. So with murals, I just see them as larger than life images. Now, if it's of Kobe, I always look at the eyes first. The eyes are kind of the windows to the soul, that, you know, obviously the cliche, but in paintings as well, especially these large scale paintings. So I always look at the eyes first, and there's some beautiful ones with him and Gigi looking at each other. One of my favorites is the one in Boyle Heights by Downtown Daniel. It's photorealistic, and it's a picture of them I think it's when he won the Orlando title, and it was the first one without Shaq, and it was really kind of Kobe as Kobe, without being the sidekick or the co-pilot, and it's just them looking at each other, and so it was just you almost feel like in the teaser, one of the bar owner actually says you feel like they're alive in that picture, and we interviewed Arash Markazi, who did the last Kobe interview for the LA Times. And I asked him what was his favorite mural. And he said that one. So we took him down there and, he was at that game. So for me, what's really special is to watch people and to ask them questions while they're looking at the murals, because I think the murals capture a moment in time that trigger memories in us. Yeah. And that's the beauty of Kobe, is he's tied to so many of our own memories throughout the years, because we spent them watching Laker games, with our family, with our friends, with Laker Nation. So those are the things I look for, the eyes, and then just, the moments. There's so many moments with Kobe that, they trigger memories in me. And that's what I really love about the murals.
You think you captured it? You think you did it?
I think for me, it's a story about LA. We titled it Sincerely Los Angeles because obviously it's a riff off Dear Basketball, Kobe's Academy Award thing about his love for basketball.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we wanted to put, Sincerely Los Angeles, because it's a love letter from the city to him, not just from the muralist, but our story is really about Angelinos. So it's muralists are part of the story, but it's all the small business owners who commissioned these murals, who, saved up and wanted to put a mural on their side just so people could enjoy it. Then there's some great stories about regular people like me and you who commissioned murals in their backyards because they wanted to have Kobe in their house, no longer in their living room on their TV, but on their walls. So it's a beautiful story about how people can keep his legacy alive, and through art. I mean, to me, Kobe was always more of an artist than an athlete. The way he would incorporate different players' moves into his own and then make them his own. His philosophies, the dedication to craft. We all know that as artists, that's how an artist talks. You're working every day. As a painter, you're putting a little paint on it every day, and it's nothing. One guy walks by, it's nothing. He comes back in a couple hours, it's a full face, Right. As a filmmaker, it's the same thing. That first day you go out, you're scared. It's a blank page. I know what I want to say, but will people say it? As a documentary filmmaker, God is writing the script. People are going to say what they say, and you hope it fits. But this project has really helped me fall in love with LA again. Being locked up these past couple months has been difficult. And I think getting back out there safely, with COVID protocols with my small crew, you just fall in love with the city because there's so many beautiful people in it who are strong, who are, they're strong, they're dedicated, and they all have one thing in common: is they love their Lakers and they love their Kobe. So it's been a great experience.
Well, the film is called Sincerely Los Angeles. Yes. Patrick Green, the filmmaker, thank you so much for being with us, and good work. We look forward to the film.
Great. Thank you, Carlos.